You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and we are checking out the Attitude Years. We are in October of 1999. 2 more stops till No Mercy. WWF Raw Is War is live October 11th, 1999 in Atlanta, Georgia. And to start out this episode of Raw Is War, we get a video memorializing Gorilla Monsoon, who passed away on my birthday, October 7th, 1999. Gorilla Monsoon was huge in the wrestling world, and his legacy lives on today, still in 2024. Vince McMahon comes out to the ring. Vince says, on behalf of the World Wrestling Federation, it feels great to be in Atlanta. Please welcome Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin says, when I get your ass in this ring, Triple H, at No Mercy, that title is coming home to me. I'm not waiting to No Mercy. Triple H, bring your carcass out here. Bring your ass out here now. WWF Champion Triple H comes out. Triple H says, I hear you out here running your mouth about you want me tonight. I could walk down there and whip your ass from the end of Atlanta to the other. But seeing as I'm in the driver's seat, I'm not doing that. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you want to tell everyone I'm not scaring you, but you actually are scared because you know without a doubt at No Mercy you cannot beat me. There's no one that can beat me. Actually, I just changed my mind. It's me and you, Jack. And then Triple H walks to the ring, but he pushes Jim Ross. Jim Ross hits Triple H from behind with a fan. Austin attacks Triple H, slams him into the ring steps. Austin holds Triple H for Jim Ross to hit him in the chest. Chyna attacks JR. Austin attacks Chyna. And then Triple H tells Jim Ross, since you're involved, it's going to be a tag match. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jim Ross against Triple H and Chyna. I'm excited to see Jim Ross mix it up against Triple H later on tonight. We then see a bunch of dogs inside a pen. There's poop everywhere, and it looks very gross. Next up, WWF Tag Team Champion Mr. Ass with the Road Dogg taking on Crash Holly with Hardcore Holly. Mr. Ass lands a Famouser to get a win over Crash after Hardcore Holly hits the New Age Outlaws with their scale. The Hollies will take on the New Age Outlaws at No Mercy for the Tag Team Championships. Mankind's interviewed backstage. Mankind says that one of us is not a team player. Before I can commit to making the Rock and Sox endorsements, tonight, Rock, you need to commit to our tag team. WWF Women's Champion Ivory comes out and says she will beat the Metamucil out of Mae Young and will serve as a demonstration to the fabulous Moolah. I live in anxiety about them attacking me. I don't care. Justice will be served at No Mercy. Mae Young, strap on your depends for this match. So we have Ivory versus Mae Young. Ivory attacks Mae Young in the back with the Women's Championship. Moolah grabs Ivory, snap mirrors Ivory, and slams Ivory's head into the mat. The match is really no contest. Moolah and Ivory will meet at No Mercy. Jim Ross calls The Rock and tells him that Mankind wants to talk to him. Rock says he doesn't like Mankind and he will be there soon to turn the Georgia Dome upside down. The British Bulldog's interviewed backstage. He doesn't know what the Mutts are doing there, talking about the different Bulldogs backstage. Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon are interviewed with Michael Hayes. Stephanie says she has post-concussion syndrome. She doesn't remember short-term things. Tonight was supposed to be her wedding day, but she cannot remember Andrew. Shane tells her we all know whose fault it is. Obviously, they're going to try to go after the British Bulldog here. Val Venis and the British Bulldog attack Mankind backstage. Mark Henry arrives in a limo with a female. I think it's his therapist. Next up, we have Edge and Christian versus the New Brood. Gangrel comes out with them for this match. Christian hits an unprettier. Matt lands a moonsault to the floor on Edge. Both teams fight on the floor, and the ref says it's a double disqualification. So their Edge and Christian have 2, and the New Brood have 1. We'll see the finals on SmackDown. Winning team gets $100,000 and Terry services. X-Pac tells Kane not to come out no matter what in his match. The Rock gets interviewed. He wipes his ass with the Rock and Sock connection. He trashes the Bulldog, calling him nothing. I invited some Georgia Bulldog mascots here tonight. He says he will be the man. oh yeah, dig it, what you gonna do when you, and then he's basically making fun of all the WCW wrestlers because they're in Atlanta. So he's making fun of Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, and all those guys. Vince McMahon tells The Rock that tonight he and Mankind will fight Val Venis and the British Bulldog. Next up, we have X-Pac taking on Faarooq with Bradshaw in his corner. Faarooq lands a clothesline and a backbreaker. X-Pac lands a spin kick and a Bronco Buster. Bradshaw distracts X-Pac, allowing X-Pac to kick Faarooq into Bradshaw and nailing an X-Factor. X-Pac gets the win. After the Acolytes attack X-Pac, Kane comes on the stage. They land a double power bomb to X-Pac. Kane attacks the Acolytes, chokeslam to Bradshaw, and X-Pac is pissed that that Kane came out to help him. The Acolytes just destroyed X-Pac here. Mark Henry's in his therapy session. He wants to try intense stimulations, and it's going to start tonight. We have the Headbangers taking on Chris Jericho and Curtis Hughes in a tag match. During the match, Curtis accidentally hits Chris Jericho. Jericho punches Curtis and leaves. The Headbangers hit a stage dive to get the victory here, and it looks like Curtis Hughes and Chris Jericho are no more. D'Lo Brown talks to the Big Show backstage. Big Show talks to D'Lo about his dad having terminal cancer and that he's going to die. The Rock has Mankind grab a pooper scooper, scoop up all of the dog poop and stick it up, and he says he's going to stick it up their asses. We get a Homberjack match, the Godfather with his hose versus Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry. Godfather lands a hose train from behind, a roll-up, and he gets a victory over a distracted Mark Henry. After Henry dances with the hose, and they lay on top. Next up, we have the Big Boss Man versus the Big Show. The Big Boss Man gets the loss here after hitting the Big Show with a nightstick. Big Show gets a DQ victory. After Al Snow attacks the Big Boss Man, but Boss Man attacks Al Snow with a nightstick. We have WWF Champion Triple H and Chyna taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin and Jim Ross. Jeff Jarrett comes out during the match and hits Chyna with a toaster. Kitty comes down with a clothing bin, and Jeff Jarrett puts Chyna in it. Austin and Triple H fight in the Nacho and Bear stand in the back. They fight through the crowd, and then Jeff Jarrett tosses the laundry basket with Chyna in it off the stage. Chyna is seen bloodied up. We've made it to our main event here. The British Bulldog and Val Venis versus The Rock in sock connection. Mankind comes down with a pile of dog poop. This is a back and forth match. It ends up with a no contest. During the match, The Rock hits a rock bottom onto the British Bulldog into the poop. Austin and Triple H fight backstage, and Austin locks Triple H in a room with a rattlesnake and turns off the lights, and we are left wondering what happens to Triple H. We will find out on SmackDown, so stay tuned. We'll be dropping that, and then we have No Mercy 1999. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.